Thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For this week's read, I'm using Tarot Grand Lux by Ciro Marchetti for the main tarot. The website I have on this one is usgamesinc.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check out that information if you're interested. The supportive oracle cards, magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. They're illustrated by Jesse Reish, and there's a website at the bottom, hayhouse.com. The dice that I use are from Amazon. Here's the stuff on the back. If it focuses. I use the D20 for the major arcana, which does omit 21, but I work with it. And then I use the D12 for the number of the minor arcana from 1 to knight. It omits queen and king, but I work with it. And I use the four-sided dice for the element, if you're wondering. All right. That's what I'm using. Hopefully that helps. And, if you want a reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. This James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. And now on to your reading. Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. But that being said, what do we have for Gemini? What do we have? Conflict in the past. I feel like even before I shuffled this, it was already starting to bother me. Conflict in the past. Conflict in the past. Are we going to do something with it? That's... yeah. Conflict in the past. I keep getting something about a conflict in the past. Have you been heard? Have you been heard? Do people know how you feel? I almost feel like you've been left out of something in the past. And it's almost like you've been left out and people are like, well, I didn't think it would matter that much, or something like that. It feels very hurtful. Ace of Cups, kind of reversed. Judgment in your favor. Ace of Cups half in, half out. Judgment in your favor. I feel like in the past there's a conflict here where I feel like you were left out, but do people know how you really feel? There's missing information. Something is missing here. Which is interesting, because Gemini can see a lot of different angles, all the possibilities, all that good stuff, But there's missing information. So it's almost like, I like to use food analogies. If you believe in the kitchen, there's 5 different cans of vegetables, some flour, some sugar, and maybe a couple things in the freezer, and that's all you think is there. You're not going to think, well, I could make a cake if you don't think it's all there. If you don't think there's chocolate there, if you don't think the proper tools are there, if you're just like, well, I would like to make eggplant, but as far as I know, there's no eggplant there, so unless I go get it. So I'm not thinking I can just go to the kitchen and make eggplant without going to buy more. But then if I find out later that there was eggplant and maybe there's a whole other second freezer that I didn't know about with a bunch more possibilities. If I didn't know, or if there's another piece of the pantry where there's a bunch more canned goods there that I didn't know about, if I didn't know that was there, I didn't consider it as a possibility. I might have thought, well, maybe there are things hidden, maybe there are more things, but if nobody told me or if I couldn't get information, for example, maybe you're 500 miles away from wherever this location is, and they're only telling you this, and that are there, and you can't go in there and research and get more information, you're not going to know there's extra possibilities if you can't tangibly get to them. Somebody hurt your feelings is what I keep getting. Because there's conflict in the past, but somebody hurting your feelings is what I'm getting. Somebody hurt they're just kind of discounting it, like, like, I don't think it mattered that much. Something like that. Because it wasn't them, they don't understand how much it bothered you. Might have, like, seriously hurt you. Emotionally, I feel like seriously it could have caused an issue here. And I'm having a hard time letting it go is what I'm getting with the Six of Cups. I'm having a real hard time letting it go. Have you been heard, though? Do people know? Have you been heard? Like, I feel like I have to have a direct conversation and let people know, like, this happened, and that's how I felt about it. Like, bam. Because I feel like people are discounting my feelings or just kind of like walking away like, it's not a problem. Don't worry about it, Gemini. Meanwhile, they're your feelings. You know? Can we put this a little bit more into context? Page of Wands and the 16 reversed, that's the Tower reversed. Nothing is really falling apart here, but I get that with the Tower kind of there upside down, it's kind of like, maybe this is the aftermath. Like, maybe for you it felt like the Tower fell, but nobody's acknowledging it. I feel like that's why the Tower's upside down. I'm definitely an intuitive reader. But I feel like the Tower fell for you, but nobody else is acknowledging it. And it's kind of like, okay. And it's something that sits with you, and it's still there to this day. It's something that's creating the foundation of where you're going next. And I keep getting, like, I keep looking at these cards. Maybe I should show them to you. Like, people, they're more caught up in what they're doing, and they're not thinking about how things have affected you. Something from the past is not resolved, and it's causing damage to the future is what I'm getting. Something from the past is not resolved, it's causing damage to the future. Because I get, like, the way we're going about it, it's kind of like we need to go forward and really kind of realize we're reaping what we sow. Something isn't resolved here. Something is not sitting with you well. Other people are just not even connecting to it. Either they're brushing it off like it doesn't matter, or they're discounting it, or they're just flat out unaware. Like, it's just not in their, it's not in their brain. They're just not even thinking about it. This is a weird card for this too. It's like, this situation can go better. Because I feel like we're having a moment here. You're having a moment coming up where you can bring this forward and you can resolve this. And when I say resolve, I'm like at least make sense of what the truth was and how people really feel and what really happened there. There's missing information. There's missing information here. If you have the rest of the information, you can do a lot more with it. You can see things differently. You can put things together in a way that makes more sense to you. But it's like, it's going to take a little bit of courage on your side to bring it forward, because I feel like I don't want to cause a conflict. I don't want to bring up these feelings again. I don't want to feel bad again. Ironically, you're already feeling bad, is what I'm getting, and it's shaping your future. The advice here is to not just get along with people and just to kind of like, well, they're including me in this now, so I guess for today we're okay, because today I'm included. I don't know about tomorrow, but today I'm included. To get along with people and just kind of like, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess they don't think it matters, so I guess I shouldn't think it matters either. If you just kind of pacify, I almost feel like I'm discounting my own feelings. If you go that route, this does not heal. This does not get better. And especially if you're just doing it in the spirit of like, well, I guess we should just get along. It doesn't have to become a moment of discord to bring forward how you feel. Your feelings are very valid, and I feel like they're being ignored. I really do. What they're saying to do, share how you feel. Share how you feel and bring that forward. It takes some strength, it takes some courage, but bring it forward. People don't understand. They don't see it. I'm getting the imagination with the courage, like they don't see what you went through. They don't see how that was for you. They don't see how you felt. They need to understand so they can look at it, figure it out, and make better decisions. You do matter, and I feel like you really very much do matter to these people. They're just totally not seeing it the way you experienced it, and they need to. They really do. If you're willing to do that, I do feel like you're going to get more in. You're going to get more consideration. I feel like people will acknowledge things, and they'll also, there's more information here. There's information that you don't know that will come your way. I'm getting that Knight of Pentacles with the Six of Pentacles coming in, like this was already happening, or this was part of what that was, Gemini. Here, if we give you this so you could have this information, it might make it look better. It's kind of like, all right, at the very least, it'll give you more places to look, to sort things out, to feel more protected, to feel more valued, to feel like you are heard. You have to feel heard. If you're not going to feel like people are hearing you and listening to your feelings, the situation does not get better. And also by getting this extra information, I feel like that puts things in perspective like, oh, I thought they just forgot me. What was really going on there was somebody was really negative, or they thought that, I was going to get taken advantage of, or they thought somebody was going to target me, or they thought this, or they thought that. All right, I see why they did that. I don't know if I agree with what they did, but I see why. So it adds to the picture. It adds to like what was going on there to help you feel more at least seen. And like, especially if people acknowledge, like, yeah, we knew you weren't there and we felt bad about it, but we felt at least you didn't have to deal with so and so. Or at least you didn't have to deal with this. So maybe somebody did it for a protective reason, but didn't tell you that. So if you bring forward your feelings, if you bring forward what's going on and how you're feeling, and like, that's not resolved for me. Maybe to you it's 10 years ago, but to me it's still alive and well, and I don't like it. I don't feel resolved with that. I feel like you'll be acknowledged and the truth will come forward and you'll get more information. People do value you. It's just, I don't feel valued the way I don't feel valued, but they do value you, and they'll start bringing that forward. You got more success, you got more community involvement, people kind of bringing forth more truth, more information that you need. There's only so much you can solve, because I get that this is a past conflict. It is a past conflict. Getting information, feeling out information, verifying information, you can go only so far with it. It's only going to go so far, but it will kind of bring as much resolution as you can get for right now. This is awkward, in my opinion, with the glamour coming in. I feel like it's more about what happens in the future than feeling happy with the past. I don't think the past is ever going to be okay the way it worked out. But I feel like at least going forward in the future, people give you more consideration. Going forward to the future, people are more forthcoming in telling you what's going on. And if they're like, well, Gemini, I wasn't going to invite you to this, and this is why, but if you want to come, you can come. I know this isn't going to hit for everybody. I almost cringe that I'm going to say this, but it's almost like maybe in the past, there's certain things you weren't invited to because maybe you have a different ethnicity than other people. And they're like, well, we know that some racist people are going to be there, so we didn't invite you. Which I cringe at this, because I'm like, we're going to invite the racist people, but not, like, what? I feel like people might have some poor excuses. I feel like that's why we're even bringing that forward. People might have some very poor excuses why you were not brought into something. That's a poor excuse, in my opinion. We're going to invite the racist person, but we're not going to invite, or whatever that is. I don't know. Something is weird. I keep getting this weird energy like it's a poor excuse why you were discounted, but communication should get better going forward. There's certain things here that are just never going to sit right. There's certain things here that are just, I'm going to find out the truth and I'm going to be like, well, it's better, but there's still elements here that I don't like. But by talking about this, I do feel like I make peace with situations. This might bring forward an element of kind of like, wait a minute. Maybe there's certain people in my family or friend group or coworkers that, you know what, I'm starting to question, like, why do I associate with them as much as I do? Because like now that I'm seeing more pieces of the puzzle and they're holding this information back, they think it was a good reason. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're putting up with racism and just not inviting me so that it doesn't make me uncomfortable? Like, what? Like, what? It starts to make, I feel like this is better for you to see people for who they are more. I don't know. It feels a little dicey, but that's how it's coming forward. You might have to see people for who they really are more than you want to, and it might change your view on people, kind of like, you know what? I was feeling bad about this, but maybe I need to see this in a different way. Maybe I need to re-angle how I'm handling this, because now that I'm seeing how people are really handling things, those are poor reasons. This is not good. So maybe I should be like realizing that there's nothing wrong with me. Maybe there's something wrong with them that I can't fix and that I need to just kind of disconnect from. That might be where this finally ends up. Okay. That's where this one went. I'm going to honor the reading. Hopefully that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.